It's time to start. It's time to start. It's time to start.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Plano Super Bowl in Plano, Texas, where we are starting the fourth squad of the 16th annual Barnes Thanksgiving Youth Bowling Tournament. Like I said, we're starting our fourth squad. We had two squads yesterday evening, Friday. We had one this morning, and this is the fourth, and we will have one more after this, starting at 4 p.m. After that, there'll be a cut for a semifinal or advancers round, and Sunday morning we'll have the final match play to crown our champions. We've got three divisions. We've got open scratch, which is what we are watching here now. Off to the left, we've got handicap, 184 and under handicap bowlers, and then U13 handicap bowlers also. So we'll have champions in each division, and those will be crowned on Sunday morning. So we're covering two pair, lane 39 and 40, 41 and 42. On 41, it looks like JL's going to give way to a competitor on lane 40. So we've got JL Hammond on 41, Keegan Alexander on 39. Looks like Keegan's going to go first on 39. And that's high flush. Trips out the 4-9. JL's going to go a little wide with a 1-2-10. And we've got Julian Salinas on 39. And JL's going to shoot at her spare. And she's going to get the 1-2 and leave the 10. And Julian's in the pocket right there. And it looks like we need to make a little camera adjustment. We're a little slanty. Someone might have bumped it there. So we're going to pause as we adjust the cameras. We'll be right back. All right, that's an improvement. We're back with Keegan on lane 40. Keegan Alexander. He likes it. Good reason, right in the pocket. JL on 42. Leaving a 4-pin. Joseph McGraw shooting at a 4-pin on lane 41. And he's going to miss that a little bit left. And Julian on lane 40. Takes his time, gets his shot lined up. And you can't do much better than that. So he's starting off with 3 in a row. And Vanessa on 39 with a strike right there. She's strike, open, strike. And Victoria on 41, going to be a little light. Leaving a 2-4-5-7. Then we got crossover on 40, leaving a 5-pin. Nash Fitzgerald stepping up on lane 42. And he is going to knock them all back. And just getting that 5-pin. And Victoria on 41. Looks like that's going to work, and it does. And Joseph on 42, starting his 3rd frame, coming in a little light, 1-2-4. So Julian a little bit light, leaving a 10-pin. So the scores, the standings we are showing down on the bottom scroll there are after 2 squads. So there's 1 squad this morning. Those are being tabulated. And we will hopefully have those a little bit later, some up-to-date standings. You can go to the Plano Super Bowl Barnes Thanksgiving Classic Facebook page, and they will have the current updated standings here pretty soon. They'll have them before I do. And Vanessa shooting at her 10-pin, just a touch wide. So it'll be strike open for her. JL on 41, shooting at her 10-pin. And that's going to be a spare for her. And crossing over on 39. Leaving a 6-pin. Keegan going to be a little high. So he's not going to trip out the 6. So he's leaving a 3-6. So he's 4 in a row, 8. And he's going to the bag for the spare ball. Bold move, not planning on using a spare ball today, but he's finally going to need it in the 5th frame. And he's going to whiff the 3. And that'll give him 116 in the 5th. That's a good start. Joseph McGraw on 41. He's going straight up 10, going to cross over, not enough to trip out the 10. And Vanessa going high flush on 39. So she's got the left lane figured out, just needs to dial it in on the right. And JL with a strike on 42. Julian a little bit light, but mixing it up for a strike in the 5th for him. And our left pair starting their 6th frame. Keegan starting it off with a strike. That's how you want to start it. Nash on 42. And he's going to find the friction a little early, go through the nose and leave a 3-10. Oh, he's got 2 messengers. Neither are going to deliver on 40 there. So that'll leave him a 10-pin. Nash shooting at his 3-10 split. A little bit of hook, not quite enough. Getting the 10, leaving the 3. Julian on 39. And that's going to be right in the pocket, but leaves another 10 pin. So he left a 10 pin on, I believe it was a 10 pin, last shot in the left lane. So a little adjustment for him. And he'll be right back in making some strikes there. So Joseph on 42, crossing over, leaving a 5. And Victoria shooting at a 210, getting a 2. Julian gets his 10 pin. And Vanessa worried about the foul line, but crossing over, getting a strike. Left pocket, right pocket, they all show up the same on the scoreboard. It's a little crossover on 39, leaving a 10 pin. JL on 41. That's going to be high. She leaves a 3-6. Keegan Alexander on 40. Doesn't like it. Doesn't even look at it, but leaves a 6 pin. So I think that was a little better than he thought it was. There's some information in that shot. Got maybe a little more hold than you expect in the middle part of the lane for now. So again, this is the second squad of the day. They are bowling on the burn, so these lanes were not re-oiled. And that's going to be a miss. A little bit outside. So Vanessa on 39. Taking her shot. That's going to be high flush and carries for the strike. That's going to be 3 in a row there for Vanessa. So she's getting things figured out. And Victoria picking up her single pin. Julian on 40. So he's on strike spare. And that's going to read a little bit early for him and leave a 6 pin. And Keegan, high flush, but leaving a 9. JL on 42. And she comes in high, leaving a 6-10. Julian shooting his 6 pin. And that'll do it. And Keegan shooting his 9 pin, and he makes it. So puts a mark on the board. And lane 40, that looks good. Knocks them all out. JL picking up her spare on 42, and Victoria on 41, getting ready to start her 7th frame. And that's going to be outside. Doesn't read enough and leaves a 1-2. And Nash getting his strike in the 7th. That's a double for him. Julian on 39, knocking them all back. And Vanessa on 40. That's going to be light and leaves a 7 pin. Victoria getting the 1-2 out. And Vanessa on 40, getting her single pin. Joseph leaving a 7 on 42. JL on 41, starting her 7th frame and coming in light. Leaving a 1, 2, 4, 10. Keegan finding some friction early there. Leaving a 3, 6, 10. So maybe a couple boards left might help him out a little bit. JL with the 2, 1, 2, 4, 10, and doesn't knock it out of the back, so leaves a 10 pin there. And Vanessa in the pocket again. She's turkey 9 spare strike. Keegan making his 3, 6, 10. Not the easiest spare in the world to make. Easy to leave the 3 or wrap the 6 around the 10, but he took care of it. Nash on 41. And I think he got that a little outside, a little sooner than he wanted, but it came back. Put 10 back. And Victoria getting the 1, 2, leaving a 4. Julian on 40. Right in the pocket. And Joseph putting 10 back on 41. Keegan coming in high. Leaving a big split there. Or 4, looks like a 4, 6, 7. Ouch. And that was his first shot in the 10th. So it's gonna hurt. Unless he picks it up. He might just zip one 30 miles an hour. And that's what he's gonna do. And he gets the 10 off of there. So he's gonna finish with a 186. As our left pair is finishing up. And lane 40, I don't know his name, but he's got a broken wrist and he's still could be in the ones. He's going to be in the 170s here, so good for him. And Julian Salinas starting his 10th frame on a double on lane 39. And the pace has slowed down a little bit. Everyone realizing the 10th frame, this is where you got to fill this frame up. So we've got Deadwood on 42. That's the holdup. So Julian on 39, taking his shot. That's going to be right there. For the viewers at home, you can't take a shot if you've got a pin down in the gutter. That could interfere with the pin carry. So you've got to clear that out before you can take a shot. Otherwise, that's a 0, and you sure don't want a 0. And Vanessa's not getting a 0. She's getting another strike, so she's on a double. Strike in the 9th, strike first shot in the 10th. So she could strike out here for 215. And Julian getting ready for his. Oh, JL's ready to go on 42. Ooh, she trips the 5 off the 5-7. Good news for her. And Julian right in the pocket there again for 4 in a row. And Victoria with a strike in the 9th. Vanessa on 3 in a row. JL shooting at her 7-pin, and she's going to make that to finish her 8th frame over there on the right pair. Julian stepping up on 39 for his last shot to go possibly 248 to close out the game with 5 strikes in a row or a pack of Franks. It's on the ham bone right now, and he's got a pack of Franks for a 248. Excellent game. Vanessa with a ham bone of her own and 215. So Keegan with 186. Julian looks like leading the pack so far from what I can see looking around here with a 248 for this first game of the 4th squad. Nash picking up his single pin on 42, marking his foundation frame. So he can strike out for 255. He had that one split open in the 5th. And JL uncharacteristically missing a 2-pin. So Joseph with a strike there. We've got Nash. Taking his first shot in the 10th and just leaving a 4-pin. So 255 not in the cards anymore, but still he's already at 223. Just a great score for him. There we go. He picks that up. So he'll get a fill shot, and he can go 234 with a strike. So Nash on his fill shot. That's crossing over wide of the head pin. I'll get him 7 for a 231. Good way to start. And Victoria coming in light, leaving a 1-2-4 for her second shot in the 10th. Joseph leaving a 9-pin. And Victoria picking up her 1-2-4. Joseph shooting at his 9-pin, and he makes that. JL taking her first shot in the 10th, and she knocks them all back. And we got Spencer paying homage to Julian there on his 248. All right, and Joseph finishing off with a 160. We got Nash with a 231, Joseph 160. JL can go 168, striking out here, and Victoria with a 164. So your athletes are going to move one pair to the right, so our left pair is going to transition to the right pair. As JL comes in light. Maybe seeing a little bit of friction too soon, and just rolling out, just not getting the hook that she's expecting. But anyway, our athlete's going to move one pair to the right, so our left pair is moving to the right, and we'll get some new competitors coming in on our left pair, which we'll see who they are in a second when we get the moves down. All right, JL is going to spare that for 158. All right, we're making the move, and we'll take a little break. We'll keep the action going for you on the video, and we'll be back in a second. All right, and we're back on game 2, squad 4. All right, so we've got our new squad coming in from the left side. Looks like we've got Laura Kurt. Should be A on the scoreboard. Coming in from North Carolina. Charisse Graham. Looks like she's D up there on the scoreboard. Got Peyton Jowers as well. And Keegan on 41. So he's spare strike. Laura's spare strike. That's going to go high. Leave her a 3-6-10. Charisse on 39. That's going to be outside a little bit. Leaves a 1-2-4. And Vanessa on 42, right in the pocket there. Tripping out the 4-7. So she's strike, spare, strike. Laura on 40, shooting the 3-6-10. That, yep, all right. Not the way you want to do it, but it worked out. She bounced the 6 off the wall. Let's take that 10 out. So she's spare, strike, spare. So Peyton is open strike, starting his third frame. Yeah, it looks like Charisse was 7 spare. Peyton on 40. Oh, two-hander. Great shot. Right in the pocket. And that's a double for him. Got Julian shooting a 6-10 on lane 41. And he almost hooked away from the 10, but got it outside enough to pick both up for the spare. And we've got our one-handed righty here on 40. I don't know his name, but he leaves a 4-7. And Laura Kurt on 39. And that's going to be high flush, high enough to knock the 4 out there. Got the late 4. And we've got lane 40 shooting the 4-7. And it's good. Julian on 42. That looks good. A little bit light, but shakes it up. Knocks that 7 out for the strike. Yeah, 40, lane 41, just missing that 6 pin a little bit inside. And Peyton, that's going to be 3 in a row. That's turkey for Peyton there. He looks like he's throwing a mode of either Venom or Venom Shock, it looks like. And Vanessa in the pocket as well. So she is strike, spare, double. Charisse on 40, shooting at her 4-pin. Missing that just a little bit to the left. That'll be an open for her. Second of the game. She's open, spare, spare, open. Keegan on 41. See what he can do. He is on a turkey, so that's 4 in a row for him. So he's spare 4 in a row. Laura, that looks good. So she is on a double now. Looks like we will have Charisse coming up next on 39. That looks a little bit light and not going to quite trip out the 7-pin. Julian on 41. Getting lined up, visualizing, taking the shot. It's a little more outside, but finds some friction, a little bit too much friction, and leaves a 4-pin, comes in high. So Vanessa on 42. She's on a double. And that's going to come in high, not going to knock the 7 out, leaving a 6-7-10. Peyton on 40, taking his shot. That's way outside, leaving a 2-8-10. Yeah, 2-8-10. Julian boxes 4-pin, didn't like it. Gonna reset. And Vanessa, looks like she's going for it there. Tried to slide that 6 over in the 7. Didn't quite get there. So Laura on 39, high flush, 10 back.
No, that's not the point. I can't.
So she's on a triple right now. Peyton shooting the 2-8-10, gets the 2. So that'll be open for him. So he's open, turkey open. Julian picking up the 4-pin. Looks like he didn't like his footing there, didn't like the slide. So it's starting to get humid out there. Might rain here in a little bit, so the humidity is gonna affect the approaches, gonna affect the oil. Keegan hated that one, but it shows up as a strike anyway. So that's 5 in a row. Pack of Franks for Keegan over there. .41 playing the slow wheel outside, getting the friction, getting it to come back. And Peyton leaving a 9-pin. Charisse getting her strike there after 2 opens, so that's a good comeback. And Vanessa on 41, light mixer, mixing them up for a strike. So she comes back after her split open. Peyton getting his single pin spare. Julian lining up on 42. He is working on a spare, and now he's working on a strike. 10 back. Laura, it's a little bit left, leaving a 6-7-10 of her own. Keegan on 41, right in the pocket there. 6 in a row. So he's making a comeback after his 180 game, which he wasn't too excited about. But he's coming back. And Laura shooting at her 6-7-10. She's on a turkey, so count's going to be important for her. Make sure she gets that 6-10. And she gets it. Oh, there we go. Got the 6-10 and the 7 out of there. Check that out. Slides the 6 right over into the 7. She knew it the whole time. So that keeps her clean for this game. And Vanessa right there in the pocket, so it's a double for her. Peyton in the pocket. And that's a spare strike for him. Julian on 41. So I think the way this pattern's developing, this is a good time for some high scores. So you just feed it out to about 8. And you're going to get it back to the pocket. That's not going to last here, so they may enjoy this for a game or two, but then it's going to start reading a little bit earlier. Laura with a strike to capitalize on her split conversion. So in a few more frames, we're going to see where the competitors are going to need to make some adjustments, and we'll see who makes it first, who makes the right one first. And lane 41, just missing that 4-pin. Little bit of hook. And it hooks away from that single pin. Peyton on 39, that's outside. Leaving a 1-2-4. And lane 40, missing a 7-pin. Julian on 42. And he's right in the pocket there for 3 in a row. Vanessa working on a double. Now that's 3 in a row for her. So Keegan on his 9th frame, he can strike out for 279. I'm sure he would love to do that. So Charisse has left a 7-pin. Keegan on 41, he likes it. The 10-pin didn't like it. He left a 10-pin there. And Charisse picking up her 7-pin. So Keegan focusing up on his 10-pin. And he's going to make it, no problem. Good spare conversion for him. Laura up on 40. Starting her 9th frame. She's a little bit more outside with that, and that's worked out right in the pocket. So she made a little adjustment. And Vanessa with 4 in a row on 42. Charisse getting a strike for her 9th frame on 39. Julian starting his 9th frame, foundation frame. He's got 3 in a row. That looks pretty good. And it is. He gets 10 back. That's 4 in a row for him. Keegan starting his 10th frame, first shot in the 10th. That looks a little bit left, but it's high flush and carries. So he can strike out for 269. And Peyton is doing his 9th frame, leaving a 210. Ouch. A little bit light. And looks like Laura's going to go first on 39. And that's a good shot for her. So she's on a double. I'm sorry, she's on a turkey. That was her first shot in the 10th. Keegan leaving a 6-pin. So he can pick this up for 259. And Keegan picking up his spare, finishing his 2nd game with a 259. I believe he had a 180 something in the first, so that's a good turnaround for him. Laura crossing over for a strike. It's a little bit inside. She's going to go for a ball change, get a little different look. So a strike here will be 247 for her. So that split conversion in the 7th helped her out. Vanessa is on 5. Her first shot in the 10th was 5 in a row. So pack of Franks for her. Seeing a lot of strikes here today. And Laura's crossing over with that one, but this is going to leave a 6-pin this time. So she's 246 for her second game. And lane 40 with another strike, so he's doubled in the 10th. Vanessa way outside. She leaves a 1-2. So she can finish 231 with this. Picking this up, Peyton on 39. He was an open in the 9th. And that looks like a much better shot, and it is. First strike in the 10th. And lane 40 punching out the 10th frame for 224. And Vanessa picking up her spare for 231. And we got some scores here today. Look at this. Peyton taking his second shot in the 10th. Julian on 42 finishing his 10th frame. Synchronized bowling. So Julian will finish 237. Charisse will get 8 for her first shot in the 10th. Peyton leaving a 1-2-10. And she will pick that up, get herself a fill shot. Oh, Peyton going for it, not quite picking it up, so he will finish with a 175. And Charisse, she makes this, she'll be 172. And that'll finish up this set of pairs. And that was light pocket for a 710. But good news, she doesn't have to shoot at it, and she's going to finish with a 170. So we'll wait for the rest of our pairs to finish up. And they'll make the move one right, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back starting our third game. Third game, fourth squad at the Barnes Thanksgiving Bowling Classic. So our left pair's moved over to the right, and we've got some new folks on the left pair. Lucas Helka, we saw him last night. He was doing great. We got Holden Watson. We saw him as well last night. Another great bowler out of the El Campo area in Texas. And he's going to come in a little bit light, leaving a 2-8. We've got Riles from Texas, class of 2023. And she is shooting at a 4.710. Going for it. Ooh, almost sliding the 4 over there into the 10. Not quite. And on our right pair on 41, we've got Laura starting her 4th game. And she's going to be light pocket. She's going to trip the 7 for her first shot. Lucas on 40. Two-hand righty coming in light, leaving a 2-8. Got Jake DeVoe on 39, starting off with a double. Jake from the Dallas area. Bowls out of Plano Super Bowl. So he's familiar with the layout, the lay of the land here. So he bowls a Monday night youth sports shot tournament. And they're usually down here on this side of the house. So this next couple of games here, he should be well familiar with these lanes. So Holden coming back for a different ball, making a equipment change. So Charisse on 42 shooting at a 4-pin, and she's making that. So she's starting off with a spare for her 3rd game. Riles coming in a little bit high, leaving a 4-pin. Holden crossing over, tripping out a 4.9. But shows up as a strike. So he's going to make a little adjustment off of that shot. And find the pocket to increase his chances of carrying a strike a little bit. Riles shooting at her 4-pin. She's making that. Jake on 40. He's on a double for his 3rd frame. Was a 2-hander, converted to 1-hand. Found a little ball speed with that, but didn't find it there as he leaves a 4-pin. All right, Lucas with a strike on 39, so he's open spare strike. Jake shooting his 4-pin and hooking at it and hooking away from it. So that's going to be an open 3rd frame. Gives him 57 in the 3rd. Riles on 40. Playing a deep inside line. Sliding on, she moves right a little bit, so about 22. That's going to come through the nose, so another split for her on this lane, a 4.67. And Holden crossing over again, leaving a 5-pin. So a little more adjustment is in his future. So the lane surfaces here are pretty frictiony, if that's a word. If it's not, it is now. So it can be a challenge to get that ball out. If it's going to read early, it's just going to keep reading. And it can be challenging to get the ball far enough out to the right. Hit the pocket. So sometimes a ball surface that's a little smoother, a little shinier, can be helpful, and that's looks like what Lucas is doing out there, and he is now on a double. Jake with great success after his open in the 3rd with a strike in the 4th. He liked it. So our right pair is having a little delay, a little mechanical difficulty.
Yeah, he's right there.
Yeah.
If you look at that website right there.
All right, and we're back. Took a little break there. We got Holden picking up a 10 pin. So he's 115 in the 7th on a spare. Laura Kurt on a double on 42. So our left pair is in the 8th frame, right pair is in the 6th frame. And Bryle shooting at a 310 on lane 39. And, oh, almost. A little bit too much of the 3. And she leaves a 10 pin. Jake DeVoe on 40. I think he made a ball change, and he leaves a 10 pin. Charisse Graham on 41. Playing straight up 5, right in the friction. That's the look right there. That's a fantastic shot. You can do that all day. And Lucas leaving a 6, 7, 10. Jake shooting at his 10 pin, and he's making it. Peyton right in the pocket there for a strike in his 6th frame. So Lucas shooting at a 6, 7, 10. And he's going to get the 6 and leave a 7, 10. Laura Kurt on 41. And that looks good. Right in the pocket. Great shot there, and that's a 3 in a row turkey for her 7th frame. Looking good. She was strike, split open, 9 spare, 9 spare, triple. So, and Bryle's leaving a 1, 2, 4. And lane 42. I don't know his name, but he got a strike there. Good for him. Holden on 39. Playing up the middle now, crossing over, leaving a 5 pin. So he's 134 in the 8th. So Bryle shooting at her 1. Oh, it's a 1, 2, 4, 8. So that 8 pin sneaky back there. We'll see if she can pick that up. Oh, she got the 8, left the 4 though. In open for her. Holden getting that 5 pin out. Peyton on 41. Getting lined up, visualizing that shot. And he's right in the pocket, knocking all 10 back. And Lucas taking care of business there, putting a strike up on the board for his first shot in the 10th. Jake taking his first shot in the 10th, and he's right in the pocket there as well. So he can strike out for a 203. That'll keep him on the plus side of the board. Lucas getting set up for his second shot in the 10th. He can strike out for 212. And that's light, but light enough. He carries it. Jake DeVoe, he comes in light, leaving a 210. Disaster time for him. Laura Kurt leaving a 4 pin in her 8th frame. Lucas trying to punch out here for a 212. That might do it. Yes, it does. So 212 for Lucas. Good finish. Charisse in the pocket there again. So she's got that left lane figured out. She's strike 6 spare strike. And Holden on a 9 spare in the 9th, starting his 10th frame. It's going to be left off of his hand. Trips a 6 forward. You don't see that too often. But it comes up on the scoreboard all the same. So he can get 2 more for a 184. Keep him in the hunt. Bryles with 111 on an open in the 9th. And that is going to be high, leaving a 3, 6, 10 for her. There we go. Holden getting it a little bit more outside. but going through the nose, leaving a 3-10 split. Peyton on 42. That's crossing over, leaving a 6-pin. Riles knocking it out. Getting her opportunity for a fill shot there. She can punch this back for 231. Laura coming in light this time, but not carrying the 245. Holden getting his 10 pin there for a 173. Yep. Peyton taking care of his spare in the 9th for his foundation frame.
Hey, Mom.
And Bryles bouncing that 2-pin around, not quite carrying it though, so she's gonna finish with a 130. So Laura working on her foundation frame, trying to fill it with a mark, and she does. Perfect shot, splitting the 4-5. And lane 42, leaving the 2-4-5 as well. So hopefully here's watching Laura to see how to make this. So this is an easy spare to miss, to miss it a little bit to the left and leave the 5-pin, or hit it a little bit too far to the right and wrap the 2 around the 4 and leave the 4. But none of that matters to Peyton Jowers, who is filling his 9th frame here. That's going to read some friction early, but he's tripping the 7 out, leaving a 3-6-10. There we go. We've got 2-4-5s being made left and right. Peyton will shoot at his spare, shooting at a 3-6-10. And he's making that spare, no problem. Charisse Graham on 42. She's working on a strike. Right up the 5 board, getting the light mixer for a double. So she can strike out for 198. For a 218, sorry. Math is hard. So now our right pair starting their 10th frame. Laura waiting for Keegan Alexander just to his right, her right, which we don't see. Laura now on 42. And she leaves a 10-pin there. Sometimes bowling is unfair. All right. Now our guy on 41 coming in a little bit light. He's piping it up 5 as well. That seems to be a good look here today. Just stay out of the pattern and use the friction. It'll be a consistent shot. Laura shooting at her 10-pin. Outstanding spare shooter, filling her 10th frame for 190. Fill shot, she can get to 200. And our guy here on 41, looks like Laura's gonna take another look with another piece of equipment. So again, our guy here on lane 41, he can strike for 204. That will keep him in the mix. Outstanding shot right there. The light mixer all day for 204. Laura taking her fill shot to go even 200. little different piece of equipment. That's a much better look. Get that down the right side, and it will read come back right in the pocket. And so that'll finish her third game. Cherise leaving a 6, 9, 10. And that's not an easy spare to make either. Lots of ways to make that. But Peyton in the 10th frame for him on 42. And he is going to punch 10 back there. And it looks like a good shot. That was an excellent shot. Split the 9-10 right there for her spare conversion. So a strike and her fill shot would give her 195. That's a good game. Peyton with a strike on his first shot in the 10th. So he can go 205 as well. That's the look right there. Piping it up 5. Sorry, 195 for Cherise. Peyton's already at 195. He can go 215. There you go. That's a double in the 10th. So he's at 205 now. So Peyton finishing up on lane 42. And he does it. Punches out in the 10th for 215. So there we go. That finishes the third game. Our left pair moves right. Our right pair moves out of screen. And we'll bring in some new people on our left pair. And we'll take a break. We'll be right back. And we're back, starting in the fourth game. 4th out of 5 for squad number 4. The Barnes Thanksgiving Classic. Got Eric Jones shooting the 4-7. Lefty two-hander out of Oklahoma. Making that no problem. And A. Kearney. I don't know his first name on 40. But he is on a spare strike, starting his third frame. Two-hand righty. Coming in just a little bit light, leaving the bucket. And Eric Jones on 39. So he's strike 8 spare. Starting his third frame. So Eric was the winner of one of the PBA Southwest Regionals in Oklahoma about a month ago. So he is definitely a competitor, someone to be reckoned with here today. I saw in the last squad he shot I believe it was a 279. So he's not messing around. And Kearney shooting his bucket on lane 40. And a little bit too much hook. And leaves a 5-pin. And Browl shooting a 2-4-5. And she makes that. Holden picking up his spare. And we've got Garrett Andrus out of the Austin area on lane 40. U15 Texas State Pepsi winner. The reigning champion. For a few more months anyway. Two-hander righty. And he leaves a 7-pin. So we got a left pair of all two-handers here. 2 righties, 1 lefty. Kearney on 39, right in the pocket. Garrett shooting at his 7-pin. And he picks that up. Lucas on lane 41. Shooting at his 10-pin and hooks a little bit, but makes it. Eric Jones, lane 40. Oh, go. Browse on 42, right in the pocket. Messenger doesn't even need it. Sends 10 back. And Eric right in the left pocket there. Putting up a strike for him. Garrett on 39. Flush pocket. So he's double 9 spare strike. Holden finding the pocket as well. This might be a fast game here. Jake DeVoe on 41. Well, I can't even keep up. Lucas on 42 with a strike. And I'll just tell you when someone doesn't get a strike. How about that? Well, there we go. And leaving a 10-pin on lane 40. Jake on 41, right in the pocket. Eric on 39, right in the pocket. Holden on 42, leaving a split. It's like a 4-6-10 maybe. Kearney looking at the approach, but makes his 10-pin. Riles on 41, starting her 5th frame. And she leaves a 10-pin. Holden shooting into his 4-6-10. Going for it. Can't bounce it out though. Leaves his 4-pin. Kearney on 39. Crossing over. But crossing over good enough for a strike. Garrett leaving a 10-pin. I think he left a 10-pin last time on this lane. But he will make it and stay clean for his 5th frame. Bryles shooting her 10-pin, and she makes it. So Jake on a pack of Frank starting his 6th frame. He's been perfect so far. And, well, there you go. And he's outside and leaves the bucket. So Jake DeVoe on 42 shooting at his bucket to try and stay clean, and he does it. So there we go. Eric Jones on lane 40. Right in the pocket there. Can't see exactly what ball he's throwing. Undoubtedly some form of urethane. Lucas coming in high, leaving a 3-6-10. Garrett finding the pocket on lane 39. Riles on lane 42. And she leaves a 1-2-10. Misses a little bit outside. Lucas picking up his 3-6-10. And Kearney in the pocket on lane 40. Sending 10 back. Eric Jones on 39. That's going to be high. Oh, it leaves a 6-8-10. So Eric's been known to throw a backup ball. This might be a good opportunity to bring that tool out of the woodshed and see what he can do to stay clean in the 7th frame. So Holden leaving a 10-pin, and he does throw a backup spare ball, but gets a little too much of the 6-pin and leaves an 8. And Holden picking up his 10-pin. So Garrett working on a strike. He is in his 7th frame. And that's a touch high. And he leaves a 9-pin. Jake in the pocket on lane 41. And he's all aboard the strike train once again after his bucket conversion. Oh, Garrett cutting it close. But close enough to make that single pin spare. So Holden leaving a 2-5 over on lane 42. Bryles on 41. Starting her 7th frame. And that's going to check up a little bit early, come in high flush, but carry. And she'll fill her 7th frame with a strike. As Eric Jones starting his 8th frame, and that's going to come in a little bit high for him, and it's going to leave him with another split. The same one he left on the last frame on lane 39. So he's shooting at a 6, 7, 10 as well. Once again, Garrett leaving a 9 pin again. So we might be seeing a little bit of transition. He's throwing the backup ball at it and can't quite, better shot, couldn't quite knock the 7 out with the 6. Let's hope he doesn't get another attempt to make that. And he just fills the rest of his frames up. But Holden on 41, and he's high flush, leaving a 4, 7, 10. Garrett picks up his 9 pin. And Kearney on 40. And that looks like a good shot. A little bit light, but manages to trip out a 5 pin with a messenger. Briles on 42. She likes it for good reason. Yeah, 10 in the pit. And Holden going for that conversion, but ends up in the left gutter for 7-0. Eric does not like it, but he only has a 6 pin to shoot at. Jake and Garrett having a politeness battle on 40 and 41, but Jake's going to win that and go first, and he's going to cross over for a 1, 2, 6, 8. So just a strike shot will take care of that. Strike shot in the pocket will take care of that. Eric Jones on whiffing a 6 pin. So that's going to be 3 opens in a row leading into the 10th frame. It's going to hurt. The best he can do is 2-0-3. Garrett with a 10 pin. And there we go. Jake in the pocket in his 9th frame. So he's 2-12 on a spare in the 9th. Holden leaving 3. Curdy in the pocket on lane 39. So that's 5 in a row, a pack of francs for his first shot in the 10th. Garrett, lane 40, shooting at his 10 pin and just missed it just a touch right. So his 9th frame is going to be open. He can strike out for 206. Riles on 41, working on a double and a light pocket mixer. And that'll be 3 in a row, a turkey for her. Kearney working on his 2nd shot in the 10th, and that'll put them all back. 6 in a row. So he can strike out for 238. Eric tripping out the 4. So he can fill the rest of this 10th frame for 203. Lucas on 41, right in the pocket, tripping out the 4 pin. That's 4 in a row for him. He's got a good game going. Jake DeVoe on 42, tripping out the 10 pin for his first shot in the 10th. So he can strike out for 252. So Kearney finishing up with 238. Eric, a little bit of slide issue there, leaving a 4-7-10. Lucas, light pocket, leaving a 2-8. So he can pick this up for 247. And Jake leaving a 4 pin. So he can pick that up for 242. Garrett getting a strike on 39. So he's on his way to a 206 if he can finish it out. Lucas sparing it up for 247, finishing his 4th game. Jake 242. Yep, 242 for his 4th game. And Eric, oh, he did have some footwork issues, so that's a foul for him. So strike here will be 193. And Garrett with a little speed control, but getting some deflection, leaving an 8-10. And Bryles leaving a 2-pin. Eric leaving a lefty bucket, and he's thrilled with that with a 189. And Holden leaving a 5-pin for his first shot in the 10th. He can pick this up for 170. Garrett trying to bounce that 10-pin out, but not quite able to do that, and he'll finish with a 195. And Riles missing her single pin in the 10th after a triple to go 200 even. She's going to lose some count there. Holden picking up his 5-pin, and he can punch this last shot out for a 170. Looks pretty good. And it is. All right, so Holden will finish his fourth game with a 170. And we will wait for the athletes to make the move. One pair to the right, and we'll be right back. And we're back for the game 5, the last game in the 4th squad at the Barnes Thanksgiving Classic. So our new bowlers on the left pair, we've got Brandon Bonta, Tori Justice, and Alyssa Ballard. And like Brandon is on a 3 in a row here to start off on his left pair. Playing deep inside and doesn't quite trip out the 4-pin. Almost had a 4-9 there. It's Eric Jones throwing the backup ball now. Oh, and he picked that up. Let's take a look at that. With a 1-3-6-7. Finding the friction out there to the right. And getting that spare conversion. Brandon picking up his 4-pin. Tori on lane 39. Starting her 4th frame. Working on a strike. And that she'll get another one and for her 4th frame. So she's on a double. Eric Jones on 42. That's a good look right there. Two, 4, or 1, 2, 8, 10. Almost picking that up. Tori on lane 40, going a little bit high, leaving a 3-10. Garrett on lane 41, starting his 3rd frame. He's working on a double. Stepping out of it. Didn't like the approach, but liked the result. So that's 3 in a row for him. Tori Justice shooting in her 3-10, and she's going to make that. Good spare shooting. Brandon Bonta on 39. Working on a spare. 3 in a row spare, and that's going to come in high. Trips out the 6-10, leaving just the 3-pin. Eric Jones going to be light with a 3-6. And Alyssa Ballard on lane 40, and she's going to leave a 7-pin. She's spare, spare, strike, strike. And I bet this will be a spare. Brandon picking up his spare. Eric getting his 3-6. And Alyssa shooting at a 7-pin on lane 40. And she's going to pick that. Oh, no, didn't read at all. Oh, she missed that a little bit to the right. Some frustration squiggles there, but she'll regroup. That'll put her at 93 in the 5th. Her first open of the game. Kearney on 41, knocking them all back. Tori playing a little bit straighter line, very effective. Eric on 42, right in the pocket. Oh, but leaving a 7-pin. Garrett on lane 41. And that got a little bit outside, a little bit fast. Found some friction, went through the nose for a 3-6-10. Brandon moving a little bit more inside to good effect. So he will get a strike in the 6th frame. Alyssa looks like a phase 3 maybe, and that's going to leave a 7-pin for her. So she'll get a chance at redemption to pick up this 7-pin. And Tori on lane 40, leaving a 4-pin. And Eric Jones on lane 41. He is working on a spare, and that's a great shot. So his 6th frame is going to be a strike. Tori going straight at that 7-pin, but missing just a little bit to the right. So that'll be her first open of the game. Garrett on 42. And that's going to be high flush, tripping out that 4-9 late. Brandon on 39, making that move in. Knocking 10 back. Be a double for him. And a 2-10 on lane 41. Alyssa lining up on 40. Sending that one a little bit outside. And a 7-pin. So she'll get another chance to pick up her 7-pin. And Eric, whoa, not leaving a 7-pin at all, sending that messenger flying across to take that 7-pin out. And Tori going a little bit high, leaving another 3-10. Oh, Kearney almost getting that 2-10. Oh, she's got it. She's got it. 7-pin. The crowd goes wild. All right, Tori getting the 3, not the 10. That'll be second open for her in this game. And Kearney getting 10 back on 42. Brandon up against the ball return, playing the deep inside line on lane 40. Getting the slow wheel out there, taking care of business for a 3 in a row. Eric Jones on 41. That'll be a double for him. And Alyssa going high, leaving a 3-6. At least it's not a 7-pin. And Garrett coming in high, leaving a 4-pin. Tori right in the pocket. Found it. And she's back. Getting a strike in the 8th frame for her. And Alyssa getting the 6, but not the 3. And Garrett shooting at a 4-pin on lane 42. And Kearney on 41, coming in high, leaving a 3-6-10. And Alyssa on lane 40 for her 9th frame. Looks a little bit inside, high strike. There we go. So she punches out her 9th frame with a strike. Brandon on lane 39, keeping with that inside line for 4 in a row. Eric leaving a 7-pin for his 9th frame. He's working on 3 in a row, so he will pick up this 7-pin to spare in the 9th. Tori is on her 9th frame, working on a strike. No, that's high flush. And 10 back for her. Garrett on 41, getting lined up, getting his target set. and he's a little light pocket. It looks like a purple hammer, and that's going to leave a 10-pin in his 9th frame. So Brandon starting his 10th frame on 4 in a row, trying for a pack of Franks. It's got to read, and it does. That's 5 in a row for Brandon. His first shot in the 10th. A great success. And Alyssa leaving a 10-pin on her first shot in the 10th. Garrett shooting at his 10-pin, and he makes it. Brandon, his second shot in the 10th. That's a little more outside. That's going to be light and leaves a 5-pin. So he can make this for 257. And Alyssa makes her spare, so she can strike her fill shot for 169. Brandon getting his 5-pin, picking that up, so he will finish off with 257. Eric starting his 10th frame on 41. That's going to be high, but only leaves a 2-pin. And Alyssa trying to make the most of this game, and she does with a 169. Garrett on 42, leaving a 310 on his first shot in the 10th. Tori getting a little more outside on that one, coming in light, but shaking it up. And that'll be 3 in a row for her. Strike on her first shot in the 10th. Eric picking up his spare, so he'll get a fill shot. He can strike here for 217. Garrett already at 221. And he makes this. So a strike here will give him 233. Tori, that's a little bit left off her hand, but she just can't miss. So that's 2 strikes in the 10th for her. A strike here will give her 201. And Eric knocking the 10 out late, leaving just a 7-pin. The good news, he doesn't have to shoot down at it. That was his fill shot, so he'll finish with a 216. Tori finishing her game on lane 40. That one didn't quite carry, but she's going to finish with a 199. Garrett on 42, taking his fill shot there, crossing over, getting that strike for a 233. So there we go. Our pairs have finished up. This will wrap up this squad. And we will have another squad after they re-oil. And they will start approximately 4 o'clock. So we'll end this stream. Tune into our channel, Sport Bowling Productions on YouTube, to see the approximately 4 p.m. squad, the final squad of qualifying, with advancers round to follow. So thanks for watching. Be sure to remember, like and subscribe, and tune in for the next qualifying squad at the Barnes Thanksgiving Classic.
It's time to start.